Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Friday, April 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I am so ready to get my coloring on. Woohoo! You know, I'm always excited about that. Got lots of stuff to show you tonight. Today, whatever time zone you're in. I'm just so glad to see everybody pop in. I hope everybody is having a good evening. Good evening. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Hello, Amy. Oh, cool. You just got your book today. Good. Glad to hear it. Hi, Mary. Zoom in. All right. I have got a bunch of things to talk to you about today. Mary, how are things going for you? Good to see you. All right, let me adjust my camera. I have got to put down a new layer for my background here. It gets all smudgy. Okay, new stuff. But, well, first of all, let me do announcements. Ben is doing good. Good. I haven't seen any updates lately on Facebook from you. I'm so glad to hear that. Hey, Helen, welcome. Yes, this is the Friday broadcast. I'm on daily, every day. Okay, so this Sunday, 7 p.m. This Sunday, the Dawn's contest is due. You need to have your entries in by 12 midnight Central Standard Time. Here in the U.S., obviously. If somebody will give me a sound check. Ooh, 3 weeks, Mary. Good. Yeah, so hoo-hoos. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Hoo-hoos. I'm not sure. You'll have to do a test page. I think you'll be okay, but you need to check it. I haven't tried it out. I'll find the book and look into it on air. Okay, so this Sunday at 12 midnight Central Standard Time, Dawn's contest is due, the entries. The Rose contest, meanwhile, ends Sunday, May 16th, as well as the face test from Color with Claire. And heads up, don't forget that we have now a hearts contest. Yeah, you should always do a test. We've got the hearts contest now that's ending Sunday, May 23rd. That is a $100 gift certificate to Amazon from Helen Elliston, and this is worldwide. Yeah, you should always spray your pages first, guys. So I want you to read what the criteria is for the Hearts contest. It's a really cool one. I think you're going to like it. All right. Summertime. Oh, let me do something real quick here while I'm thinking about it. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you, sweetie. So glad you could make it, Daniel. Now, the thing about the Hearts contest, and I want everybody to understand this. The contest is set up in such a way that it does not rely solely on artistic ability. And there is a reason for that. It has to do with the mood that your piece conveys, the message. And I explain that in great detail when I set up the contest. Helen wants it to be a contest that everybody feels they can enter, regardless of artistic ability. There is no picture, Daniel. There is no picture being supplied. It's whatever you come up with. You can use a coloring page from any other book. Somebody give me a sound check, please. You can use a coloring page from another book and customize it to be yours. Let me give you a for example. If you took this picture, which is joyful in itself, and put like hearts on it, I mean, you don't have to put hearts on it. You can say joy, you can say happiness. So I'm welching on the wager. How's that done, Daniel? I haven't actually addressed it yet. You don't think I'm reading far enough to get the context? Okay. So you can add, for example, on this the words joy and happiness and whatever, and then add your own little doodads on it. What's the context, Daniel? So when I ask for a sound check, give me a number between 1 and 10, with 10 being super loud, and whether I'm clear. That's what I need to know. So you can use something like this and add to it. That's just an example. Yeah, I know. I know about the creature picture. I need time to do that, Daniel. You better believe I'm going to do that. Okay. So those are the contests now that are in our group, and please check your announcements to make sure that you get everything. Okay, and I've got Happy Mail. Oh, that was the picture that you were saying that was not supplied. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, Happy Mail. Happy Mail. Helen's book came in today, The Sketch and Shade. Oh, that was the picture. I got you, Daniel. Okay. Hey, I'll get my drawing in. You better believe it to you. And then you have to do a chalk. Okay, so Miss Helen is going to do an appearance, an artist appearance. And have we confirmed that it'll be Thursday, May 6th, Helen? That's next week, Thursday. So yeah, this is a really thick book. I mean, look at that. There is a lot to this. Now, I'm not going to go through a lot of it today because that's what the appearance is for. Okay, so you're confirming Thursday. Cool. It takes me a while to notify everybody, so that's why I need to know. So these are some of the images that are in this book. Again, I'm just going to do a really quick flip through. And what she does is she shows how to draw everything and then how to shade it. So it's a really neat book. Here's an image on how to sketch up hair. So it's a really cool book. Here's a really neat one on how to do a cushion. And what I'll be doing is when I do it on my end here, I'll be doing it in colored pencil. But it's a really cool step-by-step book. Here's a little tutorial on how to do curled leaves. Show that one as well. So this is the book, Sketch and Shade, and Helen will be live with us next Thursday. And she'll tell us about the process that she went through to get that book for us. So that's Thursday, May 6th, guys, so that's a heads up. All right. So the next thing I wanted to show you that I got in. La-da-dum. Let me get some papers down here so I don't make a mess. So you guys know that I like to add bling to my things, and I actually will be doing that tonight. I'm going to work on this a little bit as my tutorial. And I want to show you some glitter that I picked up. And this is different. It's different than glitter glue, of course. Let me get this open. And by the way, guys, this stuff is possible because of the generous gift certificates that Helen has been giving the group. Oh man, this is gonna, there we go. And all this stuff is in the affiliate list if you're interested. But you guys know that I always like to show you different ideas for your pages. Zoom in. And here's the neat thing. It's called Holographic Chunky Glitter. And the difference in here is, hopefully you can see this. There we go. This is not just fine glitter. It's got chunky pieces in it. Everybody see that? There you go. So that's going to add a whole new dimension. Now, you guys know that I always tell you don't go crazy with add-ons. Let me get you another color here to see if we can show it. There, see that reflection? Those are on the larger pieces. So that's the difference. So I'll show you tonight how this stuff works. You can see how you like it. And decide if you want to pick some up. Don't jump on it until you see it. Okay. The next thing I want to show you that I picked up is Maddie in here. Maddie, get in here. Here is some fabric that I picked up. It's a mesh fabric. And when you fold it, you start to see the color. And this I got because I saw Maddie took Dawn's elephant and added some fabric to the front of it. And I thought that that would be pretty cool. So this particular grouping that I got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 colors. And as Sandra said, this is called Tulle, T-U-L-L-E. You can bunch it up. And the idea being that you take a little bit and you can mesh it on top of whatever you happen to be coloring to make for a different effect. Zoom in. Zoom in. Everybody see that? Makes great tutus for little kids. Yep. So I wanted to show you that. This will be a future project. And of course I'll have to keep it away from the cats. Okay, and last but not least, I now have glitter all over my desk, but that's okay. I picked up a set of Zoom Out. Zoom Out. Yeah, color on top of it for texture. Exactly, Helen. I have Neocolor water-based pastels. And this happens to be Zoom Out. The set of 40. Has a good range of colors. I'm going to be playing with them tonight just to show you how these little guys work. Let me pull out some colors that I may work with. Now, I know that a budget is issue to a lot of people. There are other brands that you can buy of the watercolor pastels. These happen to be a little more pricey because of the Caran D'Ache. Mispronounced, of course. Caran D'Ache, Arche, whatever. So you can get more budget friendly, but I just want to show you the concept of using these on your pictures. All right, so last night I was working on the railroad. So thank you, Helen. Like Caran D'Ache, thank you, Sandra. Caran D'Ache, yeah, okay. It's all right, you guys love me anyway. So these are really neat because they are water soluble. So I'm going to show you, going to play with these a little bit. Did anybody have any questions on what I was doing last night with this? These are, I used the Faber-Castell chalks. So I was having fun doing that. Haven't finished the pants on this one. This is just the underpainting that I put on. So I'm going to take my purple, zoom in, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight over the shaded area of this page. Now, you can use these two ways. You can use them as is, as I'm putting this down now. Yes, Vicky says hello. Now, if you don't have these soft pastels, use your pencils to do the same thing. And then this is where the magic happens, is you take an applicator. I am using my sponge tip applicator, and I'm going to add a little bit of water. And here we go. If you get too much water on there, take a paper towel and just touch it to the page. Zoom out. These little puppies spread beautifully. You do not need a lot of this stuff in order to do this. And if you notice, I'm picking up color from one area and putting it on another. So you're going to get a lot of mileage from this stuff, which of course we all love. And this stuff works beautifully on grayscale because your gray is still going to show through. Look how cool that looks. Zoom out. Zoom out. Everybody see that? Now, I don't really have a decent pink in here, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a very light coating of this red, and then I'm going to zoom in, zoom in, I'm going to put a little tan on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my water here. Now, you can blend with your finger. Dapper is somebody to me, it makes me think of English. Well-dressed, well-refined, educated. And yes, they're wearing a hat. Absolutely. Now, I'm just taking my finger and blending this in. And again, if you get little spots like that, just blot them off. Yeah, the term Dapper Dan comes to mind. Now, again, I'm taking just a little bit of water on my finger. And blending that. I'm having too much fun with this. Oh, brother? Why do you say that, Daniel? So let's go ahead and pop in just a little bit of blue. Now, again, guys, these colors are very, very rich. What's the oh brother for? Yeah, they're like spreading soft butter. And notice that I'm kind of swishing this in a circular motion. Now, this I'm just going to tap because I want that darker blue. See that? So I'm not going to swish that, I'm just going to tap it. And again, any little splotches, you can go ahead and hit it with a paper towel, but I'm going to leave those dots because I like it. I like it. I like it. Zoom out. Everybody see how cool this is looking? Now, when you do this stuff, you do not need much of this color, especially the darker colors. All right, Stacy is about to be in Little Rock. Be careful, sweets. So now you guys can see why I really, really like this coloring book. The grayscale is very light, and oh my gosh, there is so much you can do with this. Let me go ahead and put, anybody have any questions? Now, I don't have very much moisture on my finger. Zoom in, zoom in. Helen, it looks like it's going to be in early June right now for Daniel's book. We're still waiting on cover art. And then Jillian has to do some review on some of the images. And then it will be in June. And it'll be released here. So we are all excited about that. Now, again, notice I've got a little dampness on the page from putting this pink on. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. Now, notice too, that I'm going to streak this a little bit. Yeah, we're going to keep you company, Stace. Yay. Oops. So what do you guys think of this stuff? And the neat thing is, if you put it on as a streak and you decide that you don't like that, go ahead and reactivate it and play with it. Now, another thing you can do is you can moisten your page. See how I'm doing that? I'm just blotting on a little bit of water. And then I'm putting the soft pastel on there. So there's another application idea for you. You know, Sandra, I don't know what the full set is. I think it's 36. Now, guys, this is just like the oil pastels that I have and I've demonstrated. Let's get a little more pink in here. It's just a different application. No, I'm playing with, Stacy, I am playing with water-based pastels. Now, here's another little trick that I want to show you as well. Oh my gosh, this background is like so cool. Zoom out. So we've got a really cool book and a really cool background. Again, this is a very easy project to do. Zoom out. Thank you, Stacy, for letting me know that. This is from the book Splashy Art 2. Yeah, she's driving, but she says she's speaking the text. See, that's how loyal people are here. So I can play around here with, yeah, I'm going to show you a couple more things here too. Zoom in. So I'm working on doing the shoes in red. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my base colors. Top of a ladder in a rainstorm. In the car driving with one hand, sometimes thing can't be mixed. Well, you know what, guys? I really appreciate all of you. You know that I'm here for you. And when I had a time when I was going to have to miss, Dawn took over the broadcast. Okay, everybody see? I'm going to streak that a little darker here. So this is where you can use the crayon part of this without smearing it. So I laid my background with the water, and now I'm just going back over it and coloring in the darker spots. Zoom in. Now, if you're a wussy like Daniel is and doesn't want to get your fingers into this stuff, you can use these applicators. Okay, so again, I laid down my color, and now I'm going back in and emphasizing just with the crayon. Zoom out. All right. And guys, this is just one of many mediums that you can use on something like this. I just wanted to show you a sample of this with the water-based pastel. Now, this has a really neat flesh color. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. Oh, wait a minute. I need to figure out what's going on here. Okay. Oh, there you go. Julie says she makes sure the laptop battery is fully charged during a storm, and if she loses electricity, she can still watch. Oh, guys, you really are. I'm very touched by that. I really am. Okay, so I'm putting my water on here. You can use an applicator. You can use your finger. And the results of this are just absolutely beautiful. Zoom in. And the neat thing about these pastels is I'm in Cookeville, Tennessee, Daniel. Tennessee. Yeah, Stacy's going back to Georgia. Now, one of the things that you can do with your sponge is you can dip your finger in your water and then touch your sponge with it. And then go ahead and wet your pastel. You'll get a feel for it. And then what you can do, I'm just showing you various ideas now. Yeah, in Texas they had like those baseball size hailstorm, and I've been seeing a lot of pictures, massive damage. to cars and homes. Okay, so now I'm taking my Faber-Castell. This happens to be my cinnamon. And I'm going to go ahead and darken underneath the bra here. Now the author did not put a shade line there. I'm adding it. And that's why I keep saying I don't want want you to go brain dead, excuse me, when you color with grayscale. See how I'm adding that? And then just go ahead and blend as needed. So these pastels are absolutely wonderful. They play well with colored pencil. And I'm going to darken right near the belt area. Zoom out. What do you guys think? Have fun. Okay. A dapper fella has a neat little French fine mustache tool. That's right, Daniel. Okay, so just playing with these pastels a little bit more. And remember the oil pastels that I had, the blending was just with mineral spirits. This time it's just with water. So I think I'm going to play around with the green just a little bit more. I'll take a little dab of water and moisten the sports bra here. And again, you can add the water before or after. And here I'm going to darken this. Just using the crayon part now, no what on top. Okay, and I got a little bit of green on my tan. Let's see if we can get rid of that. The largest set is 8. Oh, that's right, there were 84, and I did see them on Amazon, and they were very expensive. Okay, this stuff erases very well. Hi, Melba. Oh, dang. I used my wrong finger on there. Got that green. My bad. Let's try this again. Blend with a different finger. Maribel, hello. There we go. I get that back. All right, what do you guys think so far of this? You see the different things that I'm using on here? This is like an all-inclusive piece. But I wanted to do this tutorial and show you some ideas with this. Have fun. So that is the Caran D'Ache, and it's the watercolor. Okay, now let me go ahead and pull a little bit of the glitter that I was showing you earlier. We'll have a little fun with that. And my paper is curling a little bit, so let me uncurl that. Your social worker concern? Okay, Daniel. So let me now show you this glitter. And the neat thing about this glitter is, or the unique thing about the glitter is the unique sizes of it. So I'm going to take a little bit of my glue. Girl may need some help or someone to talk to. I'm going to put a very thin layer of glue on here. Zoom in. And then I'm going to take my toothpick and grab some of this glitter. Now, here's what I want you to see about it. This stuff is called Chunky Glitter. Zoom in. And what you'll notice is it's got chunky pieces in it. Hence the name. And what I'm doing is I'm creating my base of glue. And I'm taking a toothpick And yes, it is a, well, no, it's not a glitter glue, it's glitter. There's no glue in this. This is like loose stuff in the container. Don't be too thin with your glue. You want this stuff to stick. And notice, you see these little shapes here that's in the glue? That's the difference with this stuff. It's not just glitter glitter. And again, I'm just taking my toothpick and I'm dabbing it in there, and then whatever comes out is what I'm working with. You guys know I'm going to find this stuff in my bed as well. Yes, Walmart has this chunky glitter. I don't know, I don't know if it's the same brand. But it is specifically called chunky glitter, okay? So let me grab a little bit of blue. Yeah, in my shoes. In my bed, in my shoes, in my underwear the other night. Oh, that was the cellophane stuff. So I dabbed a little glue on there, and now I'm just dipping the tip of my toothpick into there and gluing that on. I absolutely would not recommend pouring this stuff on from the bottle. Zoom out. And I think you guys get the idea with this. Zoom out. Everybody see how cool that's looking? This stuff is giving me too many ideas. It really is. Oh, wait a minute. All right, now what I'm going to do here for this shoe, just got this idea to do that. I'm kind of jumping ahead of the game here. Zoom in. So what I did is I took my glue and I put some lines on here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my red. And I also have a nice blush pink, but let's start with the red. And this is where your toothpick is really going to help you. Play with it, guys. Be inventive. Everybody see where I'm going with this? Zoom out. What do you think? It would make an excellent fairy trail, Julie. Good idea. And then what you can do is I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of my clear glue on top of this. Yeah. Remember that fairy trail I did the other day with the pastel? The chalk pastel? Go ahead and add a few more to here. Zoom out. Questions, comments? What do you think? I think this piece lends itself beautifully to stuff like this. And then of course I can go through and highlight now other parts of this. As I see fit. Hey Rhonda. Now, I talked yesterday when I was doing this blue, I laid my base colors and I chalked those up, and then I went ahead and started using my marker and my pencils on the pants. Zoom in. So I've got a mixture of purples and blues here. And I'm also going to put some light turquoise on here. Anybody have any questions about what I'm doing here? And I'll say it again and again and again. This is why when you're coloring, you absolutely do not judge your piece until you've finished it. Because there are so many in-between steps that you can do. And your whole piece is going to evolve. And you've got to give it the chance to do that. Have fun with it, guys. Zoom out. I think I'm done for now on this. I really was just using this as a sample piece to show you different techniques. Okay. Let me put away a few of these things. I guarantee you, if you guys judge your pieces before they're done, you're going to screw yourself up every time. You've got to let it play out. All right. And now I'll let this dry. Any comments before I switch on to the next thing? I just wanted to show you that. So I've got the Caran D'Ache colors that I wanted to show you. Mistakes are absolutely correctable. You either correct them or you implement them into your coloring, integrate them into your coloring. I've told you guys this all the time. When I'm on camera, I've made mistakes and you'd never knew it because I just incorporated it in. Okay, so that's Chunky Glitter. That's the water-based pastels. What else did I show you? Yeah, that's it for now. Okay. Well, you guys are really getting your money's worth tonight. I could see using the Chunky Glitter on this as well. On the little hoops here. Just a very light yellow. And if I don't have yellow, oh yes I do. Yeah, the gold. Wouldn't that look pretty on this? Oh, and that's what I was going to do too. I didn't like this hair color that I put on. So I'm going to take off as much of it as I can. And then I'll play with this later. Now, remember that I was showing you also the black? That's been my whole lesson on the circle of life. Is you can go ahead and take a black pen on this. I'm just throwing out this idea. Zoom in. And you can go ahead and highlight this black hair with your black pen. And guys, please share this to your timeline, would you? There you go. Look how cool that looks too. Zoom out. So now we've really got an emphasis on the face. Look how beautiful that looks. Zoom in. Zoom in. There is just so much you can do. So this is now the grayscale with the black pen. This little circle out here. You don't necessarily have to fill it in. Zoom out. So when you're working with grayscale, guys, if you want to emphasize some of these areas, have at it. Now, when I go to put color on this, it's going to wash the black, so I'll just go ahead and re-emphasize it. Really, you should emphasize it after the fact when you color, but I'm doing it now just to show you these ideas. All right. Any questions on this concept? You guys are so quiet tonight. Okay. So let me get on to the circle of life here. Zoom out. That's this book here by Mel. I'm just going to call her Chatzip. Beautiful, beautiful book. Yeah, I know you're driving, Stace. I wouldn't expect commenting from you. Okay. So let me turn that this way. Zoom in. And again, guys, please, please, please share this video. So now we've got our winter scene, and I'm going to zoom in, zoom in. Yeah, if you make a lot of comments, Stace, I am going to holler at you. Okay. So on this one, I'm going to go through and I'm going to emphasize the trees. And this is another little technique I really didn't show you. I kind of showed you. I'm not going to bother with the gray shading here because this really is a winter scene. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to go right over the top of the trees and emphasize those. Now, the neat thing about doing this in pen, remember when they print, it depends on the ink, it depends on the paper. So you absolutely can go back and emphasize what you want to emphasize. And by the way, welcome to everybody that's in the observation deck and observing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Notice now how this tree is popping. Don't ever, ever, ever be afraid or hesitant about working on the same images of your coloring book. If you wanted to, you could go over these trees with a green pen and then color it in. And the other neat thing about doing something like this is that when you're going over the lines, it also shows you how easy these things are to draw. So if you wanted to draw this tree on another page, all you have to do is emulate what you're doing here, right? Now, just be careful when you go to color, though, that your ink has thoroughly dried. And I know that sounds dumb and basic, but trust me, I've been there on camera. You've seen me do it, where I've inked up something, thought it was dry, went to color, and it wasn't. Zoom out. Look at that, guys. Is that not cool? Look at the depth we're already getting. Anybody have any thoughts about what I'm doing here with this? All right. Now I'm going to take my very fine pen. This is my 0.28 millimeter pen. Creates a very fine line. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, now these little snowflakes, easy peasy. Everybody see how I'm doing that? Now, if you're not sure about drawing something, do it in pencil first. You know I've told you that, right? So all I'm doing is making an X and then making a vertical line and making a horizontal line. And then I'm adding my little tree spike, little branch spike at the ends. What about a dark blue glitter pen? For what? For the snowflakes? Yeah. Have at it. Absolutely. And I'm glad that you asked me that, because that tells me that you're thinking. Okay, now just for giggles and laughs, I'm going to intermix a snowflake with my leaves. Just for fun. Everybody clear on how to make these snowflakes? And let me go ahead and pop one up here. Zoom out. Hey, Rebecca. Now, I would challenge you to tell me which ones I drew and which one the artist had put in there. Guys, be playful with your pieces. I would never ever show you something that I didn't think that you couldn't do, excuse me. Does anybody want me to draw one on a separate piece of paper and show you how I'm doing these? I'd be more than happy to do that if you want me to show you the specifics. Zoom in. Okay, Rhonda, you want me to show you? Okay, I will do that. All right, let me make sure. I'm going to use a slightly darker or thicker pen. Hi, Stephanie. All right, so all you have to do is make a plus. And then you draw a line through this way. And then you draw a line this way. Zoom in. And then you make a little V and you put a line in the center. Make a little V, put a line in the center. Make a little V, put a line in the center. Make a little V, line in the center. Make a V, line in the center, and V, line in the center. Zoom out. And then you can make a smaller one. So you make your plus. Draw your line through this way. Draw your line through that way. Little V, line, 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 V, and a line. Got it, Rhonda? Cool. Let me do one more quick one, and I'm going to use two different color pens so you can see. Let's do it this way. So we're going to make our plus like that. And then I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to make another plus this way. This is another way to think of it, to do it. So you're making two pluses, actually. V, line in the center. V, line in the center. V, line. Not to be confused with a B line. There you go. And then just make it the smaller sizes that you need to. And you can do them in glitter pen if you like, that was suggested. Okay. All right. So let's make another one here. V, little V, little V, There you go. All right. And then because I'm kind of running the seasons on top of each other and mixing them in like I did over on the far left, I'm going to put one little small one here. So Rhonda, when you go to do these snowflakes, practice in pencil, and then you can ink right on top of it. There we go. Zoom out. Look how cool that looks, guys. Isn't that neat? All right. Now the other little last thing that we got here that we need to take into account. Oh, let's see here. Zoom in. As we've got our little circles to add and a few dots. And that'll carry that design out as well. Daniel, you still watching? And then just carry this out as far as you want. All right. Now, I want to show you something here. Let's see. Zoom in. Zoom in. So, when I was doing this leaf, I accidentally smeared the black pen. So I've got that stupid little tail there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some snowflakes around it, these little dots and circles, and it minimized the boo-boo. So now you don't see it as much. And that's what I mean, guys. You can fix mistakes like that. Zoom out. And don't forget to draw some of your design partway off the page. So I'm drawing a couple of half circles, and that makes it look really cool. Zoom out. Yeah, exactly. The white gel pen or Posca paint. I just tapped it with my white Arteza. I get rid of that. Okay. Let's see here. So we'll do some of this out here. Zoom out. And I hope you guys can see how really cool this is looking. Everybody see that? Tell me that that doesn't look cool. All right. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right, so let me, actually, I am going to do something here. Hold on a minute, guys. I'll be right back. So I'm going to grab my glitter pen here. Zoom in. And here's an idea for you. I'm going to take my blue glitter and I'm going to go right on top of the mountain line. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera clearly. It's pretty cool looking. Can you guys see that blue? Zoom out. And just to let you know, guys, I've got my zoom out. Zoom out. I've got my glitter pens in these Ziplocs, and what I'll do sometimes, if I get them out like this, I'll go ahead and add a few drops of water in there. So I'm dipping my fingers in water and getting a little bit of moisture into that bag. And that's going to help keep your pens viable. So there's a little tip for you. You don't have to put a lot in there. I'm just sprinkling it in from the tips of my fingers. White gel pens are the worst things ever created. Okay. Zoom in. So Daniel, Julie was asking you why you're saying that. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of blue. Zoom in. Inside of my mountain. I've used white gel pens, especially to cover up lines. Oh, from that standpoint, yeah, that's a brand issue. That's why I like my Arteza white pens. Okay, so I've got my blue on my mountain. And you can see how cool that's looking now. Okay, now what I'm going to do with these snowflakes is I'm going to take my light blue pencil and I'm going to add just a little bit of blue color very lightly in between my snowflake lines. Yeah, Daniel, have you tried the jelly roll? Everybody see how I'm adding that little bit of blue here? In between my snowflake arms. And you can really see now the blue on those mountains. Zoom out. And I'm going to play with this a little further, guys. Daniel, did you see Julie's comment? She wanted to know if you tried Jelly Roll brand. Well, Daniel, there is also the Arteza white pens, and they work beautifully, and they come in different sizes. These cover beautifully. I irrationally hate all white pens and maintain this irrational hatred for multiple years now. Okay, well, there are good ones out there. It's really, yeah, yeah. You just gotta sort through the brands, Daniel. Okay, so I'm going to put a spot of glue on these larger snowflakes because I want to show you something. I'm going to go back to my chunky glitter that I was demonstrating earlier. And I'm going to drop a piece or two into the center, zoom in, and now we're going to get a really cool sparkle on this. And I'm intentionally fishing out that larger piece of glitter. It's almost like putting a little rhinestone on there. And if you happen to fish out a couple of the smaller pieces, that's fine. But I want you to see how easy this is. And, you know, you can use your glitter glue too, if you want. And then I'm going to show you another little idea here. But wait, there's more. You know me. Oh, that's an idea, Julie, to see if you can revive that. You also might try a little water. All right, now I'm going to take my glue. Happens to be my washable clear bottle that I grabbed. And I'm spreading a little bit on the page. You can see the shine. And I'm going to take my bluish green glitter and just add a little bit to that area as well. Now you don't have to do this all over the place. Just add a few pieces here and there, just to emphasize your colors. And this is definitely fitting into less is more. You don't want to overload your piece, but we just want to add just enough to accent, okay? And I've got one snowflake here where I didn't put a center on, so we'll fix that. Now, if you think that that's too much glitter, especially since I'm using the chunky glitter, you know, don't add it. remember, when I'm doing this, zoom out, zoom out. I'm showing you options. Now, having said that, I'm not adding stuff just to show you options. I'm adding stuff that I think will look cool. There we go. Now, one little area too that I want to do this in, because I did it near the top, is don't forget your area in between. If you're following along here, don't forget your area in between here, which is between the line and the new stuff that I added on the outside. And again, I have found a toothpick is like the perfect thing to use to add this stuff. The chunky glitter. And then whatever you don't use, just wipe it off back into the jar. Zoom out. And again, guys, you know, don't get stupid about adding extra stuff here. Don't add stuff just to add stuff. You know, I tell you that all the time. Okay. Let me grab a little bit of water here. Zoom in. Alrighty. And I have also found that I can wipe off my toothpick and reuse it. I'm real big on that. If I can clean off my toothpick, I'll put it back in the jar. All right, let's work on our trees. Zoom in. So I'm going to put my base green on. And you want to avoid that those black lines that you added as much as possible, because otherwise you defeat the purpose. Now, the reason I didn't put my black lines on after I color is because the wax from the pencils tends to get up in the pen, and it becomes somewhat of an aggravation. Having said that, if it works out better for you to color first and then add the pen, that's fine, have at it. Now, when you start adding your color, now you're really going to see this pop. Don't forget to turn your pencil while you're coloring. Oh, I need my pencil extender. There we go. Zoom out. All right, now here's where adding that black pen is really going to pay off. Now I'm going to grab my markers. I have a dark green marker that I'm using, and I'm going to shadow and shade underneath our branches here. Zoom in, zoom in. Hi, Katie. And I'm putting that marker down and then immediately pushing it with my finger to give me that blend. Now, technically speaking, I really didn't need, well, the shading at the very top, but I think it looks cool. Everybody see how those trees are really looking cool now. Looking good. Zoom out. Now look at the difference, guys, between our trees. Doesn't that look neat? Zoom out. So this is all sorts into a dimensional look. And I hope you see how nice it's starting to look here. All right, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look outstanding. Brush it off. Oh, Rhonda, that's great. I'm glad you're coloring along. Zoom in. All right. Zoom in. So we've got the snow colored house. Snow and ice. We'll go ahead and do that in our blues. Oh, good. Your color. Amy says she's coloring along, but making it your own. Exactly, Amy. Yes, yes, yes. You know, I encourage that all the time, right? So we've got our snow in the yard. Hold on, guys. I'm just loading up a pencil here. Yeah, I was going to ask you to do that, Amy. Whoever is coloring along with me, post it, please. And just mention that you did this in live coloring with ILene Vick. It's so much fun seeing what you guys do with this. So I've just got touches of blue here for that snow. So let's go ahead and get that fence done. Now, I don't want that house to look too close to the fence because you're going to lose it, the detail. So I'm going to go ahead and blend some red and brown with that. It's going to look a little weird when you start out with the red. But now I'm going to take my brown on top of that. And that's going to dull down that red. Okay? See how I'm doing that? But yet the color is different than the fence. So we've got a little snow on the top of the roof, excuse me, of the chimney. Sweat the details, guys. And I'm going to take a red marker because that will let me poke into a small area. And color that brick. How cute is this looking? Light gray for the smoke coming out of the chimney. So I'm going to use light gray as my base color. And then I'm going to come in with a dark gray. And that's going to give me my dimension. So guys, stop using one color. On an area. I'm also going to take some light blue and just hit those windows a little bit. And don't forget your door with your fine marker. It matters. It really does. How many times do I tell you guys? Your brain will see it even if your eyes don't. All right. So let's go ahead and get these mountain slopes done. And notice, guys, we've been poking and poking and poking around with this and just doing our little areas. But now it's all coming together. Just colored a leaf here. Now, you don't think I'm going to leave those mountains just that single shade of gray, excuse me, brown, do you? No. Absolutely not. So I'm going to go ahead and enhance that brown. I'm using 2 shades of brown, actually. One pencil is a cinnamon brown, and this other one is my Arteza 827. It's just a darker brown, Rhonda. People have there's just so many people using different brands of color. I tend not to specify. Now, one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dark gray and I'm also going to work that into my brown. So it's light brown, and then a darker brown, and then some gray on top of all that. Zoom out. Now, the clouds are going to be a little tricky because we've got the blue mountains. So what I'm going to do here, zoom in, is I'm going to use a medium gray on the tops and the bottoms of the clouds. So that way they're going to look like snow clouds. And then I'm going to go back on those same clouds and I'm going to find a nice medium blue, and I'm going to go ahead and on top of the gray I'm going to add that blue. And the reason that I'm doing that is because we've got the smoke coming from the cabin, right? And we made that gray. So I don't want my clouds confused with that. So I'm adding touches of blue to the gray that I put on the tops and bottoms of the clouds. Does that make sense to everybody? And I'm leaving the rest of the cloud white. Zoom out. Boy, that glitter, that chunky glitter is really picking up from my studio light, isn't it? So do you guys see how that blue and that gray work well? Again, with the cloud. Hey, Wanda. Okay, on my clouds, I used a medium gray on the top parts and the bottom parts. Zoom in. Good night, Katie. So glad you could join. So on the top part of the cloud and on the bottom part. And then I came back in and I went over that with my blue. And the reason that I did that is because I've got gray smoke coming out of my cabin, and I want that gray to not really be confused too much with the clouds. So that's why the clouds are gray and blue. And by the way, just for giggles and laughs, I can go ahead and extend that smoke line just a little bit. Zoom out. Okay. Now, grabbing my black pen, I'm going to go through on my rocks here. Zoom in. And wherever the author has put in shade lines on the rocks, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that with my black. And that's going to make our rocks stand out as well. The trick to doing a busy scene like this is you want each element to be distinct, but you also then want it to be part of the whole. And notice now how my rocks are showing up beautifully. So we want kind of a bleak look with this. And then I'm going to take a very light gray. I don't like that light gray, it's too blue. There we go. And then I'll add this darker gray where I added my emphasis lines with my pen. So this is a really great technique for rocks. And what I want you to think about is if you have other colorings that you're doing that have rocks in it, you can use the same method. Hi, ILene. I used a product called Chunky Glitter. And when this goes to video, you can go ahead and scrub through and you'll see how I did that. It's a really, really cool product. Zoom out. Zoom out. Good night, Daniel. Daniel, did you see the text that I sent you earlier? Check your messages, will ya? Zoom in. Oh, my pleasure, ILene. Again, that's just called Chunky Glitter. And Daniel, I hope that you see how we color stuff. Now, I'm going to go back with a really light gray. No, I'm not. I'm going to come in with a very light blue. Oh, Amy, cool. I'll look at it as soon as I'm off camera. Zoom in. So we still have a little bit of snow. Notice that I'm not going the full blue, right? I'm just highlighting with the blue. And look how that is coming together. Is that not beautiful? The only thing that I really have left are my elk. And then whatever these little stick things are. And honestly, with all the other colors now that I've got going on in here, I'm just inclined to color these little branchy things black. I'm not too concerned about it because there aren't very many of them. And it gives me the definition that I'm looking for. Oh man, look at that, guys. Zoom out. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let me get this out colored, and basically we're done with the winter scene. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I don't think that view is going to work for you, is it? It's pretty close. All right, let me pull out. Now, it's really critical. I mean, obviously I'm using a brown, but it's really critical that you come in very light. And that way you can be gauging how you want that elk to stand out. So I've got this darker brown. That I'm going ahead and shading. And then I'm going to use a lighter brown. for that color, and then I'm going to work them both together. I just don't want to lose that elk in the scheme of things. And the antlers now, because I don't want to lose those either. I'm going ahead and using my lighter brown, and then I'm just going to put a touch of dark brown on there. This is so small. There's really not too much that you can do with them, but you don't want them lost either, right? That makes sense? So Wanda, Stacy's driving, so she's doing all responses by voice control. Oh, how cool is that? All right. And notice that I streaked the elk with the different shades of brown because there's so much going on. I didn't want to lose them in there. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh man, guys, look at that. I think we've got a really nice winter scene here. And I hope you can see that each element is distinct, but it works with the rest of it. That's the trick. You don't want anything sticking out like a sore thumb, but you don't want it lost either. Now, I've got a few parts of the tree here that I missed. Anybody have any questions on this technique? So I've shown you some different ideas. I showed you the chunky glitter. Zoom out. And I showed you the pastels, water-based pastel. And here's my other piece now that's pretty much dried. So we've got oil-based pastels, water-based, this is water-based, and the chunky glitter. All right. All right, guys, I think we're in pretty good shape. I'm going to call it an evening. I've only got, it's 5 to 10 my time. We have 5 minutes to go. So we've got one more season to do. Winter, spring, summer, fall. So we've got summer. And I love how this piece is coming together. I will work up the gold on here because I've already shown you that I'm going to do that. So I'll be working up the summer for you, finishing up this yellow background here because I just hadn't quite decided what to do with it. And again, it looks a little hodgepodgey. Trust me, it'll come together. Anybody have any questions? Thoughts? Comments? I think we're in pretty good shape. I also have to do our little wolves here. I'll get back to those. Don't ever feel funny about leaving something blank. You can always go back with it when you figure out your colors. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're in good shape. Wanda, glad you could make it. Love it when you stop in. I think we're in good shape, guys. All right, joyous, joyous coloring. Love you guys. So glad you could make it. I hope you learned something. Again, you know, you may not like all the techniques, but if there's something that you picked up new, that's good. All right, this is ILene Vick for Adult. Good seeing everybody. Vicki says good night. Stacy, drive carefully. All right, guys. Bye.